Ni hao, what's Stephanie? Okay, I'm back in the saddle. I'm making videos, as you can see. It's been a while. I've been studying-ish. I just haven't felt inspired to share. Summer seriously kicks my ass in Shanghai. It hasn't even hit 40 degrees yet, which it felt like most of last summer was. 40 Celsius, which is really high, 90 something. But it's only been in the mid-30s. And it still slows me down like massively. I used to be able to do like 2 or 3 big projects per day, and all my podcasts are on hiatus, and I haven't really filmed many videos for this channel, and I'm kind of studying. I know summer's supposed to be a break time, but I'm not actually, I'm not a person that takes breaks, so it's slightly frustrating. But that's not the point at all. The point in this video is to show you what I'm doing with the listening right now, because this is another example of something that I knew as a teacher and that I did as a teacher, as a language teacher, that I didn't drag over into my learning life until literally my husband said, "Why don't you try blah?" reminding me of the things I used to tell my students to do. And I literally just sat in the coffee shop and just put my head in my hands and went, why the heck have I not been doing that? So what is that thing? Slowing down the audio. I can hear all of you purists cringe when I say that, and I need to advise you that I'm going to have examples of slowing down the audio, which ruins the rhythm of the language in so many ways. So I guarantee if you're cringing already, move on to another video. There's over 300 videos. You'll have tons of stuff. You'll have tons of content. But if you're brave enough to stay with me, I think you will appreciate this tip. And we are not the people that created this thing that you can do with languages by any means. Everything that we picked up when we were teaching languages for like 15 years were things that we heard other people do. Generally speaking, 99% of them were when we heard people doing something and we said, hey, I want to try that. And we'd try it with our students. And if it worked, we'd repeat it. And if it didn't, we didn't. And we were extra nice in the next lesson, hoping we didn't do too much damage. Oh yeah. Parents are the only people that can mess people up. Although, to be fair, I very rarely taught, other than the first year, I didn't really teach children very much. I mostly taught adults. So it wasn't like fundamental damage that I did, and it was language damage. So these are slightly less dangerous things to have done to someone in the classroom. Oh boy. All right, so let me explain what I'm doing. Slowing it down. So I've got the audio. Again, I use the HSK Standard Course textbooks. I'm reviewing HSK 2, and I'm working on some new stuff with HSK 3. My example today is going to be from HSK 2, Chapter 4. Yes, HSK 2, Chapter 4. I print out the transcripts. I keep making the font bigger and bigger because I'm trying to find the most suitable font size for my aging eyes. And I need space in between the sentences in order to write all of the things, the questions, the comments, the grammar labeling, all that kind of stuff that I'm doing to be able to underline the unknown words. I need space to do that, so that's why I do that. So what I've been doing, I used to do the workbook question or the workbook exercises first, and I'm actually not doing that. Actually, the workbook is actually way over there, and I'm just carrying this around. That's what my study pack has turned into. I've got like a summation sheet of the grammar points for HSK 2. You can tell what chapter I'm on, number 4. And then I've got the transcripts for the current chapter. That's it. That's how small my study pack has gone, and I'm pretty happy about that because I carry around paper and it was getting very thick, all the things that I was carrying around. Anyway, so what do I do? What do I do? I've experimented with a lot of different ways, so I'm going to tell you the most recent way that I've been doing this. So I have all of the audio from the publisher in my Google Drive. To do this method, I can't play it just from Google Drive because I can't slow it down there. So what I've been using is VLC, which is a really common audio player, right? I used to watch videos and movies and stuff in VLC. It's a really, really light, usable creature. App is the word I want. So you can already see I've downloaded the ones for Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 3. Okay. I need to download Chapter 4 in order to show you what I'm doing. So, and this will also give you an idea of how long this takes to do. So I go into my Google Drive. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yes, it works. I live in China. I have a VPN. There goes that question. Chapter 2, workbook. I go into my listening, and I have all the files here. So this one's 4, so I look for, the listening starts at 4-1. So I'm just going to download that puppy. And you can see how long this takes. I have really fast internet in my apartment. Sometimes when I do this using Wi-Fi in coffee shops, it takes a little bit longer, but I'm not prepared enough to do this ahead of time. So I deal with it. And I people watch while I'm waiting. It's done. So it is downloaded. So now I just go over into VLC and it should just show up. I have to refresh, and there it is. Number 4. It's really awful sounding.
这个工作是他帮我介绍的.
Right? This is just the instructions.
Lesson 4.
Lesson 4.
He recommended me for this job.
This is a good time to tell you why I was doing this. I was complaining that the speed, especially in HSK 3, which is not my example today, but generally speaking, I feel like the speed of the listening, especially the first few times that I'm listening to it, is so much higher than where the speed of my comprehension is, that it's really hard for me to even pick out words sometimes. It's hard for me to put all the words together as I'm listening sometimes. Even when I'm, most of the time, I've got the transcript and I'm reading and listening at the same time. So I've got different ways to get the meaning, but the speed still messes me up. It is personally by far the thing that has kept me from learning a language up until this point. I'm not blaming language. I'm saying this is my downfall, and I want to deal with my downfall. So I'm coming up with ways to scaffold this so I can get over it. All right, because I certainly speak super fast, and I can function in super fast environments in English. I grew up on the East Coast of the US. I can handle fast talkers. I am a fast talker. Blah, 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 blah. So I am capable of doing this, but I have some sort of block. I have some sort of inability with not being able to do it in a second language. This is my method for trying to deal with it. A year and a half later. You get it when you get it. Hold on. I need to drink to that moment. Oh my God, that's good. Okay. So, here we go. So, what I'm doing now, the most current method, from the first listen, I've got it out. Should we, has this just turned into a study with me video? Let me get a pencil. I did not realize that was what I was going to do. This one is out of lead and I keep putting it back in there. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to go with green. This matches the logo on all of my podcasts. I've become obsessed with this green color. So what I do is I look at the transcripts, and the first time, and I find this is the most, whether I'm reviewing or doing it new, I find that this is the most motivational way to do this for me. Is, again, I am the sick person that needs to challenge and almost make myself cry in order to open myself up to learn. To become a language sponge, I need to frustrate myself. That's how I learn. Can't change who you are. You can just work around it. So what I will do is I will take there's 19, 20, are there 20 parts? I know there's 3 different sections. There's 15 different exercises. So I will do one exercise at a time, just like this. In number 1, I'll read it out loud to myself. My tones still suck. They will probably always suck. But here's what I do. So number 1, I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to read it because I need to be able to read it. As I'm reading it, if there's a word I don't understand, I underline it with the pencil. Important to do this in a pencil, because when I come back the second and third and fourth time, I will erase the ones I can then read. so I can see how few things I don't understand in the future. I forgot, I also have a box where I write the date that I worked on it. So today, today is the 2nd. Today is August 2nd. So I write down the date. Each time I come and work on it, I write down the date. I also have in Pinyin the grammar points. I need to start doing that in Hansa. So that'll keep me focused. If I see those grammar points, I literally label them GP1, GP2, GP3. Not to do a lot with them, just to kind of look at them in their context. That's as far as I'm going with grammar, and that's probably as far as I will go. All right, so with number 1, this is going to be painful. You ready? Yeah! Sorry. All right, so Mama 知道电话是谁到的 Again, Mama 知道 And if I get all the words like this time, it's kind of rare for me to understand every word that's there, but I do. It's still early HSK 2. I've already taken this test. I got like a 90-something% on the test. Even so, I'm surprised that I remember all of these words. Okay, Mama 知道电话是谁打的 So mother knows talk or call is who something. I don't understand da yet, and I'm letting that fester each time I see it, and I'm eventually going to look it up, but I'm not to that point yet. So I don't underline everything for that one. That's weird. But I need to check to make sure that I have that right. So now I listen. Without turning, there we go.
一听力
1.
Here we go.
Listening.
第一部
And
分
there's an example. I'm going to pause for a second while they do the
One.
example. Okay, here we go.
妈妈知道电话是谁打的。妈妈知道
And they do it
电
twice.
话是谁打的。
So they do it twice. So let me pause that. How cute is this? There is a coffee festival. Yes, this is how easily distracted I am. There was a coffee festival in Shanghai a few weeks ago, and there was an artist selling these. It's just a sticker that you put on your phone. She is so freaking talented. I wanted to buy so many of them, and I was so excited how cool looking these were. Her artwork is really, really fun and modern and clean and beautiful. And I don't mean clean like not dirty, like perverted. I mean clean like the lines are clean, and it's really, just really visually appealing. And yeah, anyway, she was very young and I think a little shy with her language, but my gosh, so talented, so insanely talented. Okay, number 2. I'm just going to keep going until I can show you how horrible some of the sentences are and how useful this is. And then I'm going to show you how to change the speed, because that's the most important part of this right now. So number 2, can 这是我 just see, sometimes I try to do the rhythm the first time and that doesn't work, so I need to stop because I just can't get the rhythm down right now. It's not where I am, and I need to let go of that expectation. The brain is a bitch, man. Okay, so can 这是 I need to show you number 2 first. There you go. Okay, so can 这是我在和小王 person, it's the name of a person, 一起跑步, I think that's 跑步. So I think that's can is I am something, I am somewhere, and Xiao Wang something. I don't remember what I Ching means, but I find it easy to read because I don't have anything else that really conflicts with it. So I'm going to underline that one. And so I'm not entirely sure what's happening in the sentence. Something about can. I am there, and Xiao Wang is there, and we're jogging. Is Palpo jogging, or is that exercise? I'm going to underline that. And let's listen and see how I did. Number 2.
二
R.
看这 这是我在和小王一起跑步。看。
Okay, so I'm not going to make you listen to that twice. So yeah, so reading-wise, those two examples are a ridiculously good example, ridiculously bad example of not knowing the words. But I can read them. Cool. So, and each time I come back, I'll read it again, and if I can read and understand, then I'll erase them. So that's why it's important that it's in pencil for me, not pen, because I want to, as time goes on, erase them to the point where I can read the whole thing and understand the whole thing. I'm not exactly sure what's happening in that one. Again, it goes with pictures for the exercise, but I don't care about that right now. I'm focusing on the sentences themselves. So let me show you how I do this. So in VLC, I go up to this upper right part here, and that's not doing what it needs to, so I need to actually go into there. Now I'm in that audio file. Now I go up, and it has these things, these icons here. So what I do is, do you see where it says 0.7? That is the speed that it's at. Obviously 1.0 is regular speed. I'm sure you can speed it up too, but I don't think I'm probably ever going to do that. So I started at, because I didn't know where to put it speed-wise, so I started at 0.51, 0.25. Let's hear what 0.3 sounds like. Oh, this is going to be awful. I wonder if it is.
这是我在和小王
Yeah,
一起
that just ruins it. So 0.3 is clearly not going to work, so we're going to go back and change it again. Let's see what 0.5 sounds like. I don't know why I'm showing you that. There's nothing to really see. It is playing. It's just so stinking slow. Okay.
3今天的晚饭是我和丈夫
For me, I started out pretty low. I started out at 30% and I worked my way up. And I actually can understand more than 7.70 speed, but, and I'm not even sure how one says speed of audio, but I'm just going to say 0.7. But 0.75 felt like too far of a jump. Let me have you listen to that. It felt still too fast for me. What? Okay.
课
No.
这个工作看
So here's 0.75.
这是我在和小王一起跑步
That still felt a hair too fast for me. So I went down to 0.7 for now. What I think I'll do, and I haven't done this yet, because right now I'm doing a chapter a day in review of these HSK2 chapters, but what I think I'll do is when I come back in those future days, because on another piece of paper, I need to write it down here, 0.70 speed. I'm trying to consolidate my study stuff. So I'll put the date and the speed. So I want to increase the speed with each time. I'm not going to stay at a low speed very long. I just need to be able to hear the words, because it's just so awful the first few times to have the whole sentence just cruise by me and be like, what was that? What was that? So it actually feels really nice to be able to hear the words in their entirety. I know it messes up the sentence rhythm. I know that. Not as much as 0.3 and 0.5 does, but it still messes up the rhythm of the rhythm of the night. Oh, what? No. The rhythm of this sentence. Every moment is a song, people. Every moment. I know it messes that up, but it helps me with so many other things. So I don't know how many times I'm going to do it at what speed yet, because I've just started to do this a few days ago. So I'm going to experiment and see how it goes. But again, I can't do this straight in Google Drive. Whatever that opens with does not do this. Also, when I do this, I lose the function of going back 30 seconds, or going back a little bit. I had that function when I was doing it from Google Drive. What program was that was doing that? Let me see that again. Because that quick rewind button was beautiful. And I've lost that. VLC doesn't, as far as I can see, it doesn't have that. And that makes me a little bit sad. Let's see, what did this open with?
第4课
I don't even know what this program is. I think it might actually just be Google Drive's audio. Does that exist? Am I opening this in the cloud? I think I am. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just opening it up in the Google Drive cloud. So, and in that, oh, I should have showed you that. Do you see at the bottom here, it has this back 30, forward 30. That rewind button is just beautiful, and I missed that. So that's one thing I wish VLC had. It might, I may just not have been able to see it yet. I may not, I don't know. There's definitely a repeat button that exists that I think will come in handy. But right now, I do not see a rewind function. Maybe that's it. Jump to time? No, that's not it. Anyway, if any of you are really familiar with VLC in the mobile app version, and you know where, if they have like a quick rewind button, please let me know, because that is the one thing that I miss in leaping over and doing this in VLC. Other than that, the speed, lowering the speed so I can hear the words is really good. Starting with reading it first, then listening to hear if I got it right, and then listening to it a few more times, that really helps with getting the sounds down, getting the meaning, trying to understand the content itself, and all that kind of good stuff. Then I start connecting it to the grammar points to see the grammar points in context, just to identify. At this point, I'm not doing much else with the grammar, just to highlight it so I notice it in its contextual form. And then that's it. And then I do that for all 15, and that actually takes a while because I am listening to it I think it does it twice, and then I sometimes listen to it 2 more times. So each thing is 4 times. The ones you've just heard are 1 sentence long, but as you move on, as you can see from number 12 here, this is 3 lines long. And this is only HSK 2. In HSK 3, they do get meatier than that as well. So it does take some time to do this, but I really find that testing my reading ability first and then listening to it is really, really good way to really see what I can remember, both in sound, being able to say the word versus, and recognize the character, and in meaning. So my underlining is a little bit ambiguous, I just realized. I'm underlining things, I'm underlining both things I don't remember how to say, as well as what they mean. So there's no distinction between those two, and I don't really care right now. I don't remember it is the underline. It doesn't matter why I don't remember it, there's something missing, so I'm just gonna let that go. Most of the time it's the meaning, because again, the sounds stick with me even when the meaning goes. 'Tis my brain. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you in case you also have problems with the speed of a language. This might be a way that you can listen at a lower speed and then work your way up to normal speed. Textbooks are still already artificially slow by nature, so I imagine once I get to the normal textbook speed, I should probably try to speed it up even more than that. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that many repeats to get to that point, but that is a possibility for some of you who are more focused on speaking and listening than I am. For me right now, it's a conduit for the characters and for my reading skills. So there you have it. That's my new method for reading and listening thrown in for fun in HSK2 review. But I'm also using this method in the HSK3 chapters that I'm doing as well. What do you do to practice your reading and listening? What methods have you found to really, really help with keeping you motivated to keep studying, and that you just find interesting or really helpful that isn't part of the textbook itself, but that you've adapted from somebody else's tips that they've given you? I'd really love to hear your ideas below. I'm always game for trying new things and for passing on information to all of you guys. Thank you so much. 再见.